Hey up, it's Steve from the Old Yorkshire Geek, and we're going to review Monarch: Legacy of Monsters, which has started on Apple TV Plus. As you may guess from the title, Monarch is related. It's part of the what they call Monsterverse, whatever they call it, of Godzilla, the Godzilla films from the 2014 Godzilla film, and it's related to that. And Kong Skull Island, I don't know if we'll see King Kong in it, I don't know, probably not. But Kong Skull Island, I think it is mentioned, or as a sort of like sideways. They mentioned something about reinforced concrete, so I think maybe that's to do with what they do with Skull Island, I don't know. What else? So it's part of that universe. It's set in 2015, a year after Kong appeared at San Francisco and did all that stuff with the Mutos. And we do see other monsters in it. It stars s01e01. I'm probably mispronouncing that. I'm going to butcher a lot of these names because there's a lot of Japanese characters in this in this series, as you might imagine. But s01e01 is from New Zealand, so she's not Japanese. She's playing, I think she's technically playing an American of, Japanese descent. But she speaks mostly English in it. There is Japanese spoken with subtitles because she moves to Japan to settle her family affairs. But we'll get into that. I'm talking about the bloody episode, aren't I? But anyway, we're going to look at episode 1 now. I don't know what it's called, to be honest. Has it got a title? Yes, it's called Aftermath. And it's directed by Matt Shackman, who you may know from WandaVision, and he's going to do is he doing the Fantastic Four film, the new one? I do believe. But he's directed both of these 2 episodes. We're going to look at 2 episodes today, maybe. So the first one's called Aftermath, because they released the first 2 episodes simultaneously. So, anyway, as I said, it stars s01e01, Kiersey Clemens, Ren Watanabe, Mari Yamamoto, Anders Holm. There's a cameo from John Goodman right at the beginning. Joe Tippett, who is he related to Phil Tippett? The special effects, visual effects guru. I've no idea. I've tried finding out. Can't find out. Maybe it's just he's just got the same last name. I don't know. Elisa Lasowski and Kurt Russell and Wyatt Russell, both playing the same character of different ages. The story flips between the 50s and the present. Well, 2015. Sometimes quite jarringly. But we'll get into that. We've also got Takahiro Hira. As I said, lots of Japanese people in it. Kyoko Kudo, Tamlin Tomita, who you may know from Karate Kid. I think she's done Star Trek as well, I think, amongst other things. And Christopher Heyerdahl, of course, because he's in everything. Right, so let's just get on with it. So let's look at the episode, and we'll talk about it as we go. That's what we will do. So let's get it up, so to speak. Let me remember to mute the bugger. Right. Where have I put it? It's there. It's Pladosh. There we go. So we've got an Apple original. Here we go. Whoosh. So we start with footage of stuff going on. There we go. Oh, there's King Kong. He does appear in it. I never even noticed when I first watched it. But, the soldiers, remember Kong Skull Island and all that? Oh, yes, because that's where this first bit is set. So we meet John Goodman. He's filming himself on his old camera thing. So this is the 70s, isn't it? This was set during, Vietnam and all that, wasn't it? So here he is. I thought he died in Kong Skull Island. It's been a while since I've seen it. I do like it. I thought, did he get squished or blown up or something? But anyway, he has his own little adventure here that we never saw in Kong Skull Island. It's like an offshoot of something that happens in that film. But anyway, we see him, he's running through this bamboo forest. Remember that from Kong Skull Island? With the big giant spider. He drops his camera, and then we cut to proper film. He comes running out. It looks like he's digitally de-aged a bit, and it looks a bit iffy. But then this big bloody spider bamboo thing comes out. He runs to the cliff edge. There's nowhere else to go. He thinks he's going to die. All right, he pulls out this package with all of his... I presume it's got all of his research in it. And he chucks it into the sea. Off it goes. Thank God it's waterproof. And then as he's looking, another big monster appears, like a big giant crab. comes out of the rock, and they start fighting to the two monsters. John Goodman dodging about, doing a Padme, a Padme in the droid factory, giving it all that, trying to make look as though he's dodging giant legs and claws. It's not totally successfully, but it's fine. It's for TV and it's quite exciting, I must admit. They're big monsters. I'll show you a clip. There you go. See, it's all kicking off, and they both end up going into the sea. Look, splush. Both the monsters. I'm sure they're fine. They'll probably swim to shore, but we don't know. And then I presume he goes back to the rest of his team that are on Skull Island, and then he dies at some point in the film, doesn't he? I'm sure he does. Right, so that's his package is thrown into the sea, and he gets picked up. Oh, they were cut to 2013. So it spends quite a while in the sea, doesn't it? So what were it? About 40 years? I don't know, but I can't work out. My brain's not working. We'll say 73 it was set in. I can't actually remember. 83, 93, 03. Yeah, 40 years. So it spends 40 years floating about in the sea until it's picked up by a trawler. And a fisherman finds it amongst the catch, so he puts it to one side. And then we cut to the titles. So he was seen, much like we see in the films. But for some reason they're showing, split imagery. I don't know why. But we learn about the previous attacks and all that stuff. And then we go, Monarch, Legacy of Monsters. Right. So it's very cinematic, as are all TV shows these days. They seem to be, don't they? Right, we cut to, this is Kate Randa. Remember, John Goodman's character were called Randa, William Randa. And it turns out Kate is his granddaughter. I can't remember who the fella on the fishing boat is, because it ends up back in the possession of William Randa's son. So I'm a bit confused, to be honest. Unless he can't be William Randa's. It'd be a coincidence, wouldn't it, if it were him that fished it out of the sea? I don't know. Anyway, so there you go. She's going over to Japan from America. She's got to her father. I forgot his name. Hang on, I'm going to have to check. Her father, Hiroshi Randa, William's son, and Kate and Kentaro's father. We'd meet Kentaro in a bit. So I don't know. Was it Hiroshi Randa that pulled it out of the sea? I don't know. Or does it just end up back in his possession somehow? I'm guessing it does. I don't know. It's not exactly made clear, to be completely honest. Unless I missed it. I've only watched it once. Anyway, it's super pretty. And then we'll go to the landing in Japan. And what they're doing now, she was ready to get off the plane, and then the chap next to her said, "Oh, we've got to wait." And these fellas come on, spraying the passengers for parasites, in case one of them turns into a big giant monster. And we're watching thinking, well, why are they wearing masks? Is it just to protect them in case there's a parasite on board that they might breathe in and they'll turn into a giant monster, like Attack on Titan or whatever? Or is it protect them from the spray, the carcinogens that's probably in this spray that's never been tested properly? Probably. I'm waffling. So anyway, so there's all that. Then she thinks back. Right, she has these flashbacks to the year before, 2014. She notices on his does it show it? Oh, I can't remember. I think he's got the. She's thinking back to the soldiers and stuff, and then she sees later on. She sees the Monarch symbol, and she associates it with what happened in San Francisco. Right. So anyway, off she goes. She's going to check in. There we go. Godzilla evacuation route. They don't mess about, do they, in Japan? I mean, supposedly only a year, isn't it, since Godzilla arrived, and they've soon got this. Unless we're in a universe where, I don't know, no, we do see Godzilla, don't we, in the Monsterverse, whatever it's called, before 2014, don't we? Because I'm sure, has the 1954 film happened? I don't know. But there we go. She's having another flashback of hang on, see, I'm going too far. There you go. Where she's on a school bus. There we go. It's all kicking off. She's on the Golden Gate Bridge. Remember that bit in the film? So there you go. So she does a passport checking, whatever the hell they call it. And then we see the date, April 1st, April Fool's Day. Are they taking the mickey? Don't know. 2015. So I saw that and thought, ooh, it's a period piece. Right, so off she goes. She gets in the taxi, says, I've got to go to this address. So he takes her there, obviously. Then we see lots of these signs, Godzilla signs and stuff. So it's really well done. And lots of other stuff to do with Godzilla. And there, even more stuff there. And so they end up arriving at this place where she thinks her father lived. But apparently, she got on with her father. I think she loved her father, but he was one of these dads that were never there. But anyway, and she does speak Japanese because she says that was their secret language. They used to talk to each other in Japanese, even though she was raised in the United States. Anyway, she gets to the apartment. They call them apartments in Japan, or flats. We call them flats over here, whatever. She's got a bunch of keys, and one of the keys fits. Oh, by the way, her mother called. Her mother is Tamlin to meet her. She calls and says, she says, I'm here, I've arrived and all that. I'll phone you later, blah, blah, blah. And she tries the keys, and one of them fits, and she goes in, and she finds somebody's already living there. So she encounters this woman. They see that's her dad. You see him, there he is, who's passed away. I don't think it tells us yet how he's passed away. But supposedly recently, and she's supposedly going there to clear up his affairs, but she finds out he's got another family in Japan. So he's been cheating on, two families basically. We don't know why yet. It's not explained yet. I'm sure all will be revealed. So this is I can't remember the bloody name. Where are we? This is Kentaro, who is also Hiroshi Randa's son. And what's she called? I can't remember. Amiko Randa. Who's a really nice lady. She always wants to do, the right thing. But obviously they're upset that this woman's just walked into their flat. And she's saying, he's my dad and all that. But anyway, they have a sit down and a chat. And then we cut back to, I think we're in 1959 now. Does it say? There we go. Kazakhstan, 1959. So this is where we're going to meet. This is young William Randa. This is young John Goodman. Over here is... oh, God, I'm hopeless with names. Keiko Miura. And we're also going to meet here in the back. There's Wyatt Russell as I forgot his bloody name now. Lee something. Lee Shaw. And at first I was thinking, did they say Liam Shaw? And I thought, it's not a Star Trek thing, is it? It was all Liam Shaw in Star Trek Picard, didn't we? Played by Todd Stashwick. But no, it's Lee Shaw, who was played by both in the 50s. He's played by Wyatt Russell. In the present day, he's played by Kurt Russell, who was Wyatt Russell's dad. So anyway, off they go. They're following radiation. So they're heading deeper into this zone where there's supposedly lots of radiation. And Wyatt Russell says, well, I never wanted to have kids anyway. But I don't know if he does have kids. But so they head deep into this forbidden zone in their Land Rover. They really high intensity. So they get the gear out. Don't think a gas mask could save you much from radiation, would it? But never mind. And they get in, and they encounter a young lad with a bow and arrow. Oh no, a shotgun. Why did I think bow and arrow? I have no idea. With a shotgun. So they encounter him, and he says everything's fine here. It's all a big ruse to keep people away. I don't know how you can do a big ruse about radiation. I mean, it was there, wasn't it, on the bloody readings? But never mind. So they go, to where they're supposed to be going. I think he takes them. Yeah, they ask him, what's all this about? And he tells them, and they go and they find. They've still got the masks on. Here we go, and they find what's left of looks like a nuclear power plant or something, with facilities around it. Maybe a small town, I don't know. But then we learn that there's no radiation here. So I don't know how that's worked. There you go, 0, nothing. And I'd be thinking, is this broken? That's what I'd be thinking. Is it going to show us the town? But it's not going to land on it, is it? Oh, there we go. As you can see, that looks like a nuclear power plant of some sort. So I was thinking, is it the Mutos from the first film, the 2014 film? Turns out, no, it's not. But it's similar. Right, back in 2015, it goes backwards and forwards. So where we're learning is basically Hiroshi, if I got that right, I've forgotten, has been having a double life. He's been living in Japan with his family and then living in America, in San Francisco, with his other family. And we don't know why. I don't know why. Why has he done this? Is he just an arsehole? I don't know. But she shows them some photos on the phone of them together, so they believe that Kentaro's dad, what an a-hole. Anyway. And then she says, I'm sorry, it's, forget it, she gives them the keys and says, I'll get out of here. And then I think, and then we go back to 1959. Tell you, it's quite jarring sometimes. The heading, still no radiation. So they set charges and they blow up this huge area in the town. Here we go. Boom, boom, all these charges going off in a big circle. Don't know why. I'm sure they explained it in the series. And then they pick up some readings, and then they embrace for some reason, because they found something, and then a big crack opens, and then we cut back to present day. Does that a lot. She's on the phone to her mum, I think, and then an alarm goes off, and everybody starts running, a siren, sort of thing. And she gets knocked down, and Kentaro finds it, so they've got to get to the subway station or whatever. There they are. They've got to wait for the all clear. And she starts freaking out because she starts remembering what happened in San Francisco. She said, I've got to get out of here. And so she starts having a flashback, and here we go. She's on the school bus. Must be obviously a different school bus to the one that we saw in the film. The one that had Aaron Taylor Johnson's kid on. And here we see Godzilla smashing through the bridge. Come on, show us. Oh, that bus driver gets knocked out or killed or whatever. The bus ends up dangling precariously. So she jumps into action. We're seeing Godzilla now. And then she falls out of the bus. She opens the door. She falls out of the bus. And we get a good look at... Oh, for God's sake. Here we go. We get a good look at the G-Man himself. There he is. Good old Godzilla. Looking resplendent. Cool. So she starts getting the kids out before the bus falls. And she gets some of them out and they get to safety. But obviously some of the kids die. You hear them screaming. The bus falls into the San Francisco Bay. So obviously that's shooken her up. Is that a word? Shooken. Shaking her up. So then she freaks out. She says, I've got to get out of here. And they try and stop her. They said, no, they can't. But then I think we hear the all clear then. And it's safe for them to leave. Then back in 1959, after that earthquake, it's opened up this fissure. It looks like it's in the reactor area, doesn't it? So they go in and they see all these eggs. So they're wondering what's caused this. So they've got to go down and check it out. So Keiko is going to go down. There you go. She's ready. She's girl boss basically. And she's going to go down and check out the eggs. Bill says, why are you going? And then, I forgot his name, Lee says, no, we'll both go down. So they both go down, right, to check out these eggs. And Bill stays up top. Meanwhile, in 2015, they're waiting for the all clear. There we go, the all clear comes. They go out, they head back to, I think they head back to Kentaro's house. I think, maybe, or maybe not, I can't remember. I think they do. I think she asks her back for tea. Come back and have some tea. There we go, that's it, she's a nice lady. But I think she refuses. Yes, she does. And she goes off. Then Kentaro goes to his dad's office. Obviously, he's got the keys now. Oh my, he takes her with him. He takes Kate with him to show her his dad's office. And then I think she notices, she looks at the chart on the wall. She realizes there's something behind it. She pulls it down, and there's a safe there. But it's secured with a code, and so he doesn't know the code, does Kentaro. So she starts, she asks, what's your birthday? What's your mum's birthday? She tries her mum's birthday, she tries her birthday. It turns out it's a combination of all of them, and eventually it opens. And inside is the bag that we saw at the beginning that William Randa threw in to the sea and was fished out and somehow ended up back in the arms of William Randa's son. I mean, it does have his name on, so I suppose that's fair enough. So it does show it in a minute. There we go. Property of Randa WJ. So maybe that's how it ended up back in possession of another Randa. Then she has another flashback because she sees the Monarch symbol, and she remembers seeing these chaps filming stuff with the Monarch symbol on their clothes and their equipment. So there we go. Anyway, there's basically what they call magnetic tapes in there, and it's some sort of storage device from the 70s, it turns out. So they take them to this young lady whose name I've forgotten because I'm useless. May, played by Kiersey Clemens. I know apparently she's an expat. She's living in Japan. We never see. She apparently can understand Japanese, but I don't think we ever see her speak Japanese. So maybe the actress just never could get the hang of it. Maybe, I don't know. But we never see her speak Japanese, and I'm thinking, they've got to get the diverse person in, haven't they? It's Japan, for God's sake. It's essentially an ethno-state, isn't it? I know there are black people that live in Japan, but there's not many, is there? When all's said and done. I'm sorry, it's just the truth of it, isn't it? Got somebody will reply in the comments now and say, I'm a black person, I live in Japan. There's 20,000 of us or something. But compared to 100 million population, it's not many, is it? But anyway, she's living there. She's kind of a hacker. And apparently she and Kentaro have had a relationship of some sort, and he wants her help, but she's not eager to help. But then she likes Kate. She says, I like her. Oh, yeah, so, Captain Marvel, isn't it? Captain Marvel and Thor. Anyway, so she does help him eventually. They're having a chat about their relationship that obviously didn't end well, but she likes Kate, so she agrees to help him. So they go back to her pad, and she starts accessing the info from these, this 40-year-old storage device that she just happens to have, a reader that'll, a drive or whatever that'll read them. So she starts downloading them. It's all this Monarch stuff, files and things like that. I thought it was just going to end up being reels of film, because we saw him with a camera, didn't we? But it isn't. It's electronic storage from the 70s. Anyway. So while all that's going on, there you go, she's learning about this. But then we cut to, there we go, this place here. I think this is some sort of Monarch facility, and it flags up because they must be checking everybody's computer. It's kind of like I forgot what they call it, like an NSA sort of thing going on where they know what you're doing, don't they? They're watching us all the time, Big Brother and all that. But this is a Monarch facility, and it gets flagged up that somebody's accessing these files. They've obviously been missing for 40 years. So I don't know how. Maybe it's just because the symbols appeared on a screen and it's triggered a flag and it's popped up. So they send out a team. This fella here, don't ask me his name, I can't remember. His face looks familiar, but I don't know. So he goes out. I'm sure he's. Let's have a look. I think it's Joe Tipper, isn't it? As Tim. Yes, it is Tim. So that's all this is. So he ends up on the trail of the footage. Oh, not the footage. The data with his companion, who's French, I think. But there you go. This is what we're learning about. It says that Bigfoot. It doesn't look very much like Bigfoot, does it? But never mind. I mean, I got vibes of the Dyatlov Pass incident, to be completely honest, but I don't know. But so the plot thickens. All this, there we go. All this Monarch stuff. In a Monarch storage thing, because William Rando, essentially was Monarch, wasn't he, at the beginning, and he's got redacted files. Why are the files redacted on his data stuff that he had? No idea. But anyway, never mind. So the plot thickens. So what was Hiroshi Randa up to? And we're learning that he wasn't in San Francisco. He's asking, Kentaro's asking how he died. I don't even know if he knew he'd died. I don't know. But he says he wasn't in San Francisco that day last year. So we don't know what's happened to him. Maybe he'll turn up alive. I don't know. But apparently he's supposed to be dead. So anyway. And there you go. She's thinking back again to the year before the destruction at San Francisco. I think tens of thousands were killed, weren't they? When Godzilla were fighting the Mutos. It were all kicking off. I like the 2014 Godzilla film. Anyway, she is in like a refugee camp. She finally gets through to her mother. And then it's a dad, isn't it? A dad phones, that's it. And he asks where they are. And then he's there suddenly. There we go. So we meet him. So he were alive. So he says he wasn't there in San Francisco on G-Day, but he was there the day after. And then he tells her he's got to go. So I presume he's going back to Japan. And so she's upset at that he's got to go. And he says, tell your mother I love her. And he says, I love you. And then that's the last time she sees him, I think. Oh, I'm sending him to Reno, by the way. So that's the last time she sees him. So off he goes. Doing whatever he does. There you go. She's obviously upset about it. Then what happens? Then they find a photo. I think this is... is this her mother? Or is this that Keiko? I can't actually remember. It's obviously standing in a giant footprint. And they say... That May says... What's she standing in? You think? I can't remember who it's supposed to be. I've forgotten. What does she say? Let's have a look. See what it says in the subtitles. Come on, tell us. It's not really telling us, is it? Let's go back a bit further. I'm sure I've got subtitles switched on. Sure I have. Yes, it's switched on. Yeah, I know. There we go. Right, stop, go back. Who is this lady? Is it? I'm sure she says it's her mum. That. Go on, say it. Say it. Is it? That. My grandmother, of course. Who is? Where are we? Where are we? Does it say? I don't think it says, does it? No, it doesn't say in this who's playing her grandmother. So maybe she's not in it yet, but it's her grandmother, who is obviously becomes the wife of William Randa. But I don't think we've met her yet, unless it can't be Keiko, because something happens to Keiko. And they go, what is she standing in? What do you think she's standing in, you stupid bint? Anyway, back in 1959 in Kazakhstan, checking on these eggs. So they go down, and it all kicks off. Obviously, the eggs hatch, so they go running. You've got the checking and look. And then they've got another rumble, seismic thing going on. And the eggs start hatching. So they're going legging it. But obviously they're not the mutos from the first film. They were into that radiation and that one. That was a different sort. So they start climbing up, back out. Old William's trying his best to pull Keiko up. Lee's, he's doing it himself. But the creatures, the parasites, whatever you want to call them, start crawling all over Keiko. He's trying to pull her up, is William, but they're reaching out. But, it's too late, and he can't hold on, and down she goes. Oh, no! So we presume that's the end of Keiko, we presume. So obviously it wasn't her standing in the footprint, was it? And that's the end of that episode. So there we go, that's how it ends. And I quite enjoyed it. I know I've criticised it a little bit, but it wasn't terrible. It wasn't terrible. I did enjoy it, and the acting in it's decent. The going back and forth is a bit jarring from 59 to 2015, and but apart from that, I'm quite enjoying it. Like I say, it was nice to see Godzilla in the flesh, and we had some nice monsters at the end. We had some nice monsters at the beginning as well on Skull Island. So, all in all, it was fine. It wasn't the most amazing thing I've ever seen, but I did enjoy it. And I'm intrigued. I want to know more. And I want to know how Hiroshi Randa ended up with the bag again. I don't know how, but after it was fished out of presumably the Pacific Ocean after 40 years. But anyway, right, so what's kind of score shall I give it? I don't know. Because it's not amazing, but I did enjoy it. But it's not going to be a particularly high score, to be completely honest. I don't like a 7 out of 10, which is like above average, I suppose, isn't it? But it's not terrible. Yeah, so there we go. So that's that. So we'll leave it there for episode 1 of Monarch, Legacy of Monsters. Like I say, it's worth a watch if you subscribe to Apple TV Plus. It's worth a watch. It looks nice and it's got some good effects, and you can tell it is part of the Monsterverse. So next up, review of part 2. So I'll see you then. So thanks for watching wherever you are. Look after each other, and until next time, I'll see you there.